What up, my people? It's your favorite boy, Crayon, and you're watching Factory 78. Don't play. I'm feeling good, man. I'm blessed, man. Happy to be here,
Is it your first time in London?
My first time in London.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, man. So let's do this. How was your show, Manchester? How was it like?
Man, that show was crazy, man. To be honest, I did not expect that, amount of energy when I came out. When I came out, I felt special. I felt goosebumps, man.
And everybody knew your song.
Everybody knew the song, was singing word for word. The craziest moment for me was when, the new song dropped, Wadamo, and the crowd went wild, like literally, like for me that was special, and I'm happy about the fact that my first big show in London was my brother Rema in Manchester, and also I'm a Manchester United fan, so it's special. Man no fit tire, every day I'm on the road. No limit you, no limit you. First of all, my dad sells records. So we have like a lot of albums in our house from Michael Jackson to Shaggy to 50 Cent to Whiskey to Wonderco to Mohit to P Square. A lot of different genre of music in my house at the time for free because like my dad used to sell records. So
you mean vinyl, CDs or
CDs.
Okay.
So my mom, she used to always play Igbo gospel music at home too. Like every morning when she wakes up, like whether you like it or not, it's banging in your head. That's what's gonna wake you up in the morning. So I grew up around music, so in my house, my family has never been a superstar before. I'm the first. There's no one that does music or whatever. So I'm the first. So coming from that, it's amazing for me because everyone in my hood thought I was gonna be a footballer because I used to be very, very good with football at the time. So for me, when I wanted to make music was 2016 because of this particular exam in Nigeria called JAMB. It's like an exam you write before entering into university. So you guys call it college year, right? So for us then it's just called university. So I wrote the exam 5 times. Wanted to go to school so bad. It wasn't working out for some reasons. I don't know why. So I linked up with one of my friends and I told him yo, I want to start making music now. He was like, why? I was like,
just like that?
Yeah, it's like I love music. But before that I joined the choir in when I was in teenager church. So I joined the choir, but after a while I got shy. I couldn't continue. I was super shy. I used to be very, very timid and shy. So it's like, okay, talk to your parents about it. So one day I came back home. I sat my parents down, African parents, bro. I sat them down yo, I want to start making music now. My dad was like, why? I'm like, because I love music. I want to make music. That's my dream. I want to do it for real, for real. Do you have any sponsor? Do you have anybody that's going to help you? I'm like, don't worry. I'm going to find my way around it. So, and the crazy thing for me, nobody saw me on social media. That's how crazy it was.
Wow.
Yeah. So from 2016 to 2017, I dropped 7 songs by myself. No record label, no manager, no sponsor, nothing. I used to go, my mom used to be a popular fruit seller in a place called Yanoba. It's in Lagos, actually. She sold there with not even a shop. It was a kiosk, it was a small table. She was there for 19 years on the same spot. So I used to go to help her, sell some stuff. I steal some money, go to the studio. I linked up with my friend called Uzadi Kozwane. He's the guy that produced it maybe for Rema. He produced Closer for Oxlade as well. My first record, before that, I used to be called July. That was my first stage name. But for me, I felt like it wasn't catchy enough because it was just something that was just special to me because I was born in the month of July. So I wanted something that everybody could relate to at the time. So, one day I was just at home chilling. My sister, she used to make this bead bag. It was very colorful and it was on the wall. It wasn't boring Saturday morning or afternoon, I don't know. But I know what Saturday was very boring. It was sunny as fuck. All my friends were in school. I was just home sitting down. It's I saw the bag. The first thing that came to my mind was Crayon. I felt like it was God sent. So I went outside and I was like, bro, it's Crayon now. They're like, why? I'm like, colorful boy, colorful music, cray. They're like, oh, mad. And yeah, so for me, it stuck with me till now. So I went on to drop 7 songs in the hood. I started getting shows in the hood for free. I was going to birthday parties to perform.
You
No, I wasn't getting paid. I was just doing it for the fun of it. at the time. I started getting girls. Like everybody started knowing who I was. Everybody started fucking with me. I became super popular in my area at the time. So there's this guy called Super Prince. He worked for a radio station in Nigeria called CTFM. He used to play my songs at the time. So he was doing this show.
Being an underground artist,
Yeah,
your music being
play on the radio. It was at the time I was doing the show called Push a Play. It was for all coming artists that sounds like A-list artists.
Yeah.
The rules is like you have to be your music has to be A-list artist standard. The mixing and mastering, the writing, the song itself, the whole song. So I feel like that kind of helped me like grow as an artist at the time. Because my first day in the studio, I never dropped a wax song at the time. I never ever till this day. All my songs are lit. All my songs are lit. To this day, like as how crazy it was. But for me, those songs now for me it sounds whack. But because I've grown, so and like I've evolved. But if I play the record and now you're gonna be like, yo, this is hard. That's how confident I am in the songs. So I felt I dropped the song, was playing it on the radio. I was the first artist. I played my song on radio in my hood. It was a big moment for me at the time. So one day I was just home, 2017 towards the Christmas time. I just came out from church. I'm a church boy. I came out from church, and then I got a call from my friend. The name of Kobe. It's past now. It's like, you, they want to see you at Mavin. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, they want to see you at Mavin. Da, 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 da. Already, Baby Fresh already DM me. It's like, yo, pull up your producer and your materials. Let's see what we're going to do for you. So then I didn't have a smartphone. I used to use one Nokia phone at the time. So I had to log into my friend's phone, my Instagram to check. And then I saw it was a verified, page. And I was like, wow, for real. I couldn't sleep that night. That was a big moment for me, like, So I called Zedico, so like, yo, we're going to Mavin tomorrow. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, bro, we're going to Mavin tomorrow. And the next day we linked up at Mavin, and I was in reception, and then Baby Fresh came downstairs. Literally, Baby Fresh just covered me, and he brought me to Mavin. So it's like
Sorry, is it the same Baby Fresh that used to live in London before?
No. It's a different one. He produced all over for Tibo Savage, Ricardo's Problem. Yeah, so he came downstairs. It's like, do you want to go home or you want to go to the studio? I'm like, why would I come from the mainland and go to the studio? And like, yeah. It took us to the studio, and then we opened the door. It was Don Jazzy, Big N, Dr. C, Tega, the whole crew. Immediately, I was just like, I see, normally goes boy, and I was like, Baba. It's like, no, stand up. It's like, Baby Fresh, play me his music. And then he started playing my songs. And there's this one song that caught his attention. It's called Long Throats. It's like, I really love the song. I want to work with you, but do not post anything about Mavin out there yet till it's official. So I'm not promising you anything yet. Just keep coming around and stuff like that. So I was so excited, man. I posted that picture on my Facebook, and how I even got to Mavin, like how I even got to Baby Fresh hearing the song, one of my friends, Shion, and Ibuka, they used to work at Mavin at the time, so they were playing my songs in Mavin at the time. So at Mavin HQ, they have like Bluetooth speaker and it's connected to everywhere. So when they're playing the song, everybody's hearing it. Yeah, who's this guy? So Baby Fresh is like, okay, he just DM me. So I put up the next day, and then, I started coming from like the mainland to the island, spend like 3 days and I go back home, spend like a couple of days and I go back home. Yo, like everybody in my hood was going crazy. They couldn't believe their eyes. Like, I'm the first person that got signed to a major label like Mavin. Even literally the biggest label in Africa. No cap, like no Fugazi. So coming from that to Mavin alone was huge. It was huge for me, for everybody there, like, in Ojo. It was huge. And then 2018, I moved in fully, just learning the whole music business, because all I had then was just a talent. I had to learn music business, I had to learn artist management, imagery and everything like that. Yo, say this now, so good. Uju tandam for Uju Afrobeats, straight up like Afrobeat. But I like to touch on like different, cultures of my sound. Hence why I made a record with like Tesselita from Jamaica. I made a record with Kelvin Boy from Ghana. I just dropped Ijola Balaba remix featuring Focalistic from South Africa, Costa Stitch from South Africa, and my homeboy, Camido from Ghana as well. So it's like me just touching on different cultures, you know what I'm saying? So
Girl, I fi give it to you two one time. Girl, if you rap up on me, girl, I fi hit it from the back.
that was first song that got it for me was So Fine. Was from my first EP, Cray Cray, dropped in 2019. It did well, but that song that changed everything, that got me here right now was Overdose, man. Dropped this year, and when that song dropped, everything changed. The conversations, like money changed, lifestyle changed, girls changed, money went up, and then Ijola Balaba just came and cemented it for me. And then what Damos now was doing, amazing.
Pull up in this time, when she give me many songs, I give her many things, she never see I see. And the money can never taste them.
I never stopped working, man. As a Lagos boy, like it's hustle, hustle, hustle. For me, it's like my hustle. It's like how I feed my family. So I can't stop. I can't sleep. So it's for me, it's like back to back to back. Since I came to London, I haven't rested. Like it's been up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So never stop.
You tell me so she give me many things I know. See.
I feel like me being signed to Mavin was ordained by God. You feel me? I wasn't here by mistake or chance. It was. I'm nothing but a crayon in the hands of God. That is the paint, the picture. So for me, I feel like it was ordained, it was destined to happen.
Laughing could give it things where you go bamboo. And you know without limited don't you. I know.
Most times I speak to Baby Fresh. I speak to Don Jazzy, I speak to Rema, I speak to Tega, I speak to my brother Vida here. So like for us, it's like family. I can speak to anybody. I'm that cool. Everyone, like maybe like a big family, and Don Jazzy being the dad of the family. It's like Don Jazzy doesn't even act like a boy. It feels like a dad. Like it feels like 21st century dad, new generation dad. You can tell your dad that, oh, I just had sex with this girl. They be like, oh, but you can't tell your African dad like that. It's gonna whoop your ass. So yeah, man. So it's so cool, man.
Give me many can do. Everything no fee bandu. A bad person never tyrandu. You laughing could give it things where you go bamboo. And you know without them.
It was Rema. It was 2018. I came in, and then I think he did a freestyle for the Prince's Gucci Gang. And then I remember when I was in the studio, I was just there chilling, and then the Prince came with him. He had short dreads. It was fly, man. I was like, who's this fly guy from?
Were you the first one signed to them, or?
No, I was the first pipeline artist.
Oh, okay.
Like wasn't signed, but Rema was the first signed artist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he came studio. I was like, he was looking fly. I was like, who's this guy? He was just fresh like this. And like, yeah, this is Rema. He was doing trap at the time, strictly trap at the time.
You used to sit in the car, yeah.
Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, we actually became friends from like playing FIFA. I think it was upstairs making music, and then I linked up with him upstairs, and was playing FIFA. He actually introduced me to FIFA 17, and then we started playing. He used to whoop my ass at first, then I started whooping his ass. So we became super friends, and then we became so close. Like we're still close till now, to this day, man. It's crazy.
And then now you're joining him on tour right now. How does that feel?
It's something we always talked about. Back in 2018, I remember like in the studio at the time, at the rehearsal room, it has like it's upstairs. So Don Jazzy and the whole crew used to be downstairs producing, and then they'll be hearing footsteps like it was us jumping, like practicing like how to shut down shows, and now it's happening, and it's just amazing to see, man. Everything we talked about is happening right now. So
Shakira, Kelly de post my mandula. Every time when I see you want to cook.
yo, I was like, man, this was crazy. I remember I was just in my house at the time. It was a Friday. I was in my house at the time, just lonely, nobody, just there, just chilling, just waiting for them to play. Cause I know when the show starts, it's like it starts from like 11 to 12, so it's like 1 hour. So I was on the radio listening, and then when my song came on, I ran from my house to my friend's house, and like, bruh, listen, yeah, playing my song on the radio, and everybody was just shouting like, yo. It was a huge moment for me at the time, because it wasn't like I paid the guy. It was just doing it because the music is great and he loves it. So I was super excited. So that was amazing for me.
Pull up in this time when she give me many songs, I give her many things when she never see I see.
For me, man, I just enjoy myself. Music is a universal language. Regardless of where you're from, so long as you love the rhythm, you're gonna vibe to it. I was at a show in Manchester. I was seeing white people vibe to my songs, so it was just for me. For me, it's like it's just there's no boundaries. You know, music got across every.
Girl, I fi give it to you two one time. Girl, if you rap up for me, girl, I fi hit it from the back.
Okay, for me the song, I was inspired by the dance I did in the Overdose video shoot. A day before Overdose dropped, I was at home. I remember I just came out from the hospital. I was just trying to get my swag back, and I was just playing the song, just trying to do something, and then I just kept doing one dance mode that was just like sticking with me. And then I said, you know what, I'm gonna try it tomorrow on set. So when I go on set the next day, I did it. Ira was like, bro, that's sick. I need to learn that dance. Like, that's sick. I'm like, yeah. Marty said the same thing too. Like, bro, if you keep doing that shit, it's gonna be your dance. Everybody was just saying, yo, it's mad, it's mad, it's mad. And then the video came out and it became a thing. So then I used to call it
The viral video or the main video?
the main video for Overdose.
Overdose,
It
okay.
came out. And I did the dance. And at that time, it was called Show That Dance because I didn't have a name for the dance. So it was viral. So I started going to my, different places in Lagos to teach people to do the dance. I went to Fela Shrine. I went to Ikeja City Mall. I went to my secondary school. I was teaching people to do the dance. So I said, what? I need to make a song for this dance. So the dance inspired the song. So hence why I called it Ijo Laba Laba. Ijo is dance. Laba Laba is butterfly. So that's why like it's the hand movement. You feel me? So Ijo Laba Laba is a very spiritual record because like it has so many affirmations into it. It has different cultural influences from Ghana. When I said Kweku, when I said Vuvuzela, South Africa. When I said Unsogbu, that's Igbo. When I said Ijola Balaba, that's Yoruba. And there's Pidgin, you feel me? So and it has affirmations like blessings for your heads up, Ota no go get us, Ota is like enemies won't see us. So for me, it's this very, very spiritual record aside the dance and everything like that. So that's why everybody's connected to it. And then the remix, first of all, I don't make music with someone just anybody. I make music with my friends, people that I connect with. First of all, the energy has to be right. Camilo has always been my guy. Focalistic is my guy, because After is my brother. You feel me? So it was really, really just like, making music with my friends and my family. So it was really easy, and they all loved the song even before I reached out to them. So it was really easy.
On the fire, play tick to let them know. You know finish yo. You know finish yo.
For me, I'm just playing my role. As CRAYON, as Captain Hook, as they call me. He gave me Captain Hook. He gave me that name.
Oh,
I'm always cleaning the hooks on every song I'm on. That's why they call me Captain Hook. Like so, Captain Hook. You understand? So for me, I'm just playing my role. Like I said, like I always say, it feels like Real Madrid. Like we have defenders, we have strikers, we have the midfielders, we have the wingers. So I'm just playing my role in the team, just to help the team and push the culture forward and the music as well. So
Yo, say this now, Unsogbu. Uju tandem for who? Uju robo. Many things we can do.
for me, it's about the work ethic. Just keep putting out amazing music, and for me, it's always try to evolve and just like try to tweak my sound every single time, and just try to like do stuff that could help grow my brand, and just put my name in people's mouth by just doing stuff that I regularly do. So for me, I'm just doing my thing, man, regardless of whatever comes, man.
Ijola balaba, give me your hand and shoulder. Cause he should get up. Blessings.
For me, man, I believe in organic growth, man. That's what Mavins is all about. Mavins always been about that organic growth and, organic, because it took me 3 years to be here.
You ready to grow?
You feel me? It's a growth step by step. I'm planting this seed for a long time, so now it's germinating. So I'm reaping my fruits. So it's for me, it's just about the growth, step by step, brick by brick. So I'm really not about that.
So you don't believe in all this streaming farm and all of that
Man, everybody be fine, man. Everybody doing that shit, man. I don't care.
It's for your head up, pichola balaba. Give me your hand and shoulder. Otano go get.
I was on 300K for 3 years.
Really? Okay.
Facts. He knows it. 3 years, like.
So you've never checked your thing on Spotify?
I used to check, but I was telling you, like, I was on 300K for 3 years. So when it was when Overdose dropped, it just skyrocketed. And then Jola Balaba came as well. And then when Diamond came as well. So it took me a while to get to the spot.
Say this now, unsobu. Uju tandam for Uju robo robo.
I feel like it's really important because, like, it's easier, but there's still a lot of work that you need to do for your first of all, your music has to be great, and you have to still post up content, be online, posting, tweeting, doing everything everywhere. So, I feel like it's really important, man. And I want to say big shout out to everybody streaming my music all around the world. I love you guys so much, man.
Open the fire, play tick to let them know.
It's both. For me, it's a lifestyle, also a business. Because at the end of the day, you want to feed your family, man. You need to make money. And a lifestyle, because, like, I love it. It's what I love to do. It's what I always wanted to do. So I love traveling, man. I know people have to. People don't like to travel. Me, I like to catch flights, man. Me, I want to travel every day of the week. As long as I'm getting paid, bro. I don't really mind, man.
Can if you rap up on me? I'll be it from the back right now.
Everybody comes together in a room, listen to the song, and we all make a collective decision. It's not like a dictatorship kind of vibe. It's like more of like, okay, everybody's coming together, one mind, just saying, okay, which one is best to go out now, strategically, like, so. It's just for us. It's more of like teamwork, than anything else.
Can if you rap up on me? I'll be it from the back.
For me, it depends on how I'm feeling. If I feel like making a really like mid-tempo song, I make it. If I feel like making a fast-tempo song, I do it. For example, Ijola Balaba is different from Overdose, and Overdose is different from Wandamo. You feel me? So like, for me, I'm very flexible. Whatever comes, I do it. I just want to be in the mood. If I'm in the mood to make a sad song, I make a sad song. If I'm in the mood to make a love song, I make a love song. If I'm happy, I make a party vibe. And if I'm just in between, I make it really like mid-tempo vibe. So for me, it varies. So there's no particular
song. I give her many things, she never see. And the money can never taste them.
To be honest, it's a gamble. You don't really know because you don't control the universe. But sometimes you feel it. For Overdose, I felt it. I know that this one, this one is gone. Because like, when we were recording the song in the studio, like, it was Jazzy, Embryo, and everybody in the studio at the time. It felt so real. It felt so good. Like, listen to the song, it just felt like, nah, people are going to love the song. Like, the energy, you just knew, like, yeah. But sometimes you don't know. You just drop the song and then it just surprises you. Sometimes you feel like, okay, this one is really the one I will go. And then it doesn't work. Sometimes you feel like, this song is not that. But when it drops and it goes crazy, you be like, wow. You feel me? So yeah.
So she wanna pull up my way. You tell me so she give me many things I know.
I have that a lot because like I'm human. At the end of the day, man,
Any scenario you wanna play out?
I remember one time that I went to the studio. Where was it? One particular song of mine. I think it was this Gokam. Yeah. And then I was in the studio and then we were just playing the beat. And I was just blank, man. I was just there looking at the producer, looking at me, looking at myself like, bro, to the apple. We slept in the studio, and then woke up the next morning, and then he opened up the project again, and then we started vibing, and then we'll make actually a great song. So for me, I don't really stress it. When I go to the studio and I have a writer's block, I just chill, because I know like, okay, maybe it's not working today, because if you're trying to force it, it's just weird.
What's my mandula? Every time when I see you want the cookana.
First of all, the first rule of the industry is never reject money. So, for me, man, I don't know, man. But at the end of the day, man, you need money. You need to finance everything you do in the industry, regardless.
And you know, don't you? I know,
I can't be friends with everybody. Well, I'm friends with Rema, my entire Maven crew. Johnny Drill, Ladipo, Magix, Boy Spies, Bayani,
Okay, your Mavin
Ira,
system.
yeah, and I'm friends with Fireboy, Oxley, Joe Boy, Alpha P, AV, Victoni.
Sound like you're playing with everybody.
Yeah, like what I'm saying, I'm a very cool person. Everybody likes me around.
So she give me many things I know. See.
I feel like that's really confidential. I can tell you how I see the deal. But yeah, I've got a couple of brands in terms of like shows and like different things. So I wouldn't want to go into that. It's very confidential.
Pull up in this time when she give me many songs. I give her many things when she never see I see. And
It's another level.
Yeah, definitely. Like it has to be, it has to be a middle ground. First of all, honesty. Oh, definitely. You have to tell me what exactly do you want me to do for you and what exactly I can gain from it. It has to be a win-win situation. And obviously the money has to be right. You feel me? And then I have to look at it like me and my team. I have to look at it like, okay, how can this benefit us and also benefit our, partners as well. So for me, it's both.
pull up in this time when she give me many songs. I give her many things when she never see I see. And the money can never taste me make her sound. Pull up in
Time is our time. Like I think it happens every 10 years or every 5 years. Like before Whiskey came in and Davido came in, it was 10 years after the band has been ruling. And then 10 years after we pulled up. Me, Fireboy, Rema, Victor, Oxley, and everybody killing it.
pull up in this time when she give me many songs. I give her many things when she never see I see. And
For sure, like nobody had my thumbprints. My thumbprints from everybody else. So I would say I'm one of one because there's nobody like me. I'm just really like playing my role. To push the culture forward and make my parents proud and make myself proud as well and my team because there's so much invested in me, so I can't fail. It's impossible.
So have you returned that money you stole from my mom?
A million times, man. She's so happy. She's not even thinking about it. Like she's just happy, excited. I just got him a new crib, so she's just happy and excited.
you two one time. Can leave it up on me.
Before the year ends, Mavin All-Star album, Chapter X, December 2nd, this Friday. It's gonna be lit.
Tell us about the album. What we should do.
Yo, the album is fire, man. I can't even. It's not like I'm trying to hype or. It's just what it is. It's too hard. Like,
Is he on the hook?
bro, don't worry, bro. You listen, you find out for yourself. You understand? I don't want to give too much. I just want you to listen. Is everybody on there? Ira, Rema, me, Boy Spies, Bayani, Johnny Drill, Ladipo, Magix, Don Jazzy, Andre Vibes, Prestige, Jackson, everybody, and everything on that album, from the mixing and mastering to the artwork to picking up the songs to the artists to the producers, everything is all Mavin.
So Sonic Clouds is sounding the album, the tracks. Sonic Clouds is sounding like, you know what I mean? Like
You have to find
in
out.
terms of the body of work.
You have to find out.
Okay.
It's a special project, and it's really significant for me because like, Mavin turned 10 today. I mean this year, and Mavin turning 10 is when I got my first breakthrough hit records, Overdose, and then Injola Balaba now Odamo. So it's really special to me. And then being part of the Mavin family when Mavin turned 10, and then the album is dropping, and then there's a Mavin concert, December 16th, Live Sports Event Center. If you're in London, make sure you fly over to Lagos, get your tickets, let's go crazy. All stars.
Are you dropping an album yourself soon? Or?
Definitely, next year, my album year.
Okay, fine.
I want you guys to follow me on social media. Crayon this everywhere. CRAYON everywhere. Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Crayway too.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.